hair typing, this whole hair typing system of my 4C could never. I got 3C4. Yeah, no, pointless. Hopefully I look good on camera because I definitely can't see myself. Maybe I'll buy a camera, but I really don't want to spend any more money because I'm gonna move into an apartment, so I've been buying a bunch of stuff. And my pockets, I don't like spending money, y'all. Like, I'm very frugal with my money, so spending, not my thing. I've been a little bit MIA on literally everything, not just YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything. I'm just starting to get back into it, and I really don't have a reason as to why I just disappeared. I just kind of fell off, got really lazy because it's summertime and I don't have any schoolwork to do. I just go to work and come home and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. So I didn't do anything. I fell into like a whole month of just not doing anything because I didn't feel like it. So I didn't. But honestly, I really don't rest like I should. I'm very much a workaholic sometimes, maybe all the time, you know. So I kind of needed this. I kind of hated that I took so much time to just be lazy. But then again, I never really do that. So yeah, that's where I've been. That's my reason why I just been not uploading, not posting anything. But I'm starting to get back into it now. You know, there's 2 weeks before I go off to college again for sophomore year. So definitely more content coming. Stay tuned. That sounds very cliche, but for real though, stay tuned. Definitely some videos coming for college, for hair, for product, everything, girl, everything. Hey guys, it's your girl Pineapple Curls. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, I know. I just explained the whole reason why, even though there's not really a reason. But I'm starting to get back into it now, and today I'm about to be explaining to y'all why hair typing, this whole hair typing system of my 4C could never. I got 3C4. Yeah, no, pointless. Very much so pointless. But before I get into the reasons why, y'all might be confused, or maybe not. You might already be woke, you know what I'm saying? But for all those people that aren't, I'm gonna be explaining to y'all why it is very much pointless, very simple for our natural hair, and why the system is it's too basic for us, is what I'm basically saying. If you're new, or maybe you're not new and you're just watching my videos but you haven't really subscribed or anything yet, you just be watching. Why? The big red subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. There's also the like button. There's also the bell notification button in case you want to get notified when I post. So now that I've told you about those buttons, do as you please with them. I'll wait for you to get your situation in order with your buttons, you know, the subscribe button, the comment section even. Yeah, I'll wait for you because, you know, I'm a good person, I'm a good friend, and friends wait on friends, you know what I'm saying? I really hope we're not both just sitting here, you know, just staring at each other, because that's really awkward. I'm really giving you some time here to get yourself in order so that you can be set up for the next videos I'm about to post. You know, you can be ready. All right, let's get into it. So my main point is that the hair typing system, I'll insert a picture of the basic one that came out years ago and that we've just been going by ever since. It's a little drawing of the different curl patterns and stuff from like 1A to 4C. But my main point is that it's way too simple for natural hair, for our hair. You cannot put natural hair into those simple categories like that, because not all of us are gonna fit. In fact, I don't think any of us fit, to be honest. The only component this picture addresses is curl patterns, and that's just pointless because most naturals, including me, we have multiple curl patterns in our hair that's on this chart. Like going by this chart right here, I got probably like 3C all the way to 4C. I have all those curl patterns in my hair right now. Like the back is very much 4C, so is a little bit of the front, but I also have like 3C, 4A in the middle, and I got, you know, 4B mixed in probably like all over. Like my hair is not one curl pattern at all. Our natural hair is a spectrum. There's way more factors that need to be taken into consideration before we just start saying, oh, I'm 4C, I'm 4B, because this chart is just curl pattern. Everything else that comes with that, like thickness that we like to associate with this chart, is just associations based on the commonalities that come with these curl patterns. You know, 4C tends to be very thick, very, you don't really see the curl pattern because it's so tightly coiled, and thickness usually comes with that, and so does dryness, so you need heavier products. But at the end of the day, the chart doesn't address all that. The thickness, the products that work for that curl pattern, that has all been association. The chart is really just a curl pattern. I may have 4C in my hair, I may have 3C, I may have 2A maybe, but I need thick products in my hair. I need oils, I need deep condition, whatever, you know, I need those kinds of products. But that's not based on my curl patterns. That's based on my curl texture, my porosity, based on my thickness in my hair. Like there's so many other factors that the chart doesn't address, but we have made associations with other factors, and we've tried to fit them into this simple chart, but that just, it doesn't work. I'm gonna show y'all, like, I'm gonna just do the type 4 hair, because that's the main curl patterns that I have in my hair. So 4A, 4B, 4C, those are curl patterns, right? 4A is, I think that's like either very tight coils, or that's when it changes to zigzags. I'm not looking at the picture right now, but y'all are. So I'm gonna draw it like, okay, so that's 4A. Don't quote me. I'm just drawing stuff. And then 4B is more like, and then 4C is very much, yeah. Hopefully y'all get the picture. In regards to thickness, you may not be able to see those curls, and that's just one factor. Let's talk about porosity. Let's talk about density. Let's talk about length. Like, there's so many other factors that I can't even like begin to draw on this paper, because I'm not really educated on how those factors affect how your hair looks. But I know curl pattern is not the only thing that affects that. As far as association goes, I say I'm like maybe 3C, 4A, 4B, just so people can get an understanding of how my hair is. But I really don't like associating my hair with this chart, because this chart is way too simple. I really want to get into my hair's low porosity. These products work best for me. Products like deep conditioning every time I wash my hair, because that works best with my hair, and it helps me retain moisture more. You know, like porosity, thickness, length, stuff like that is more important than the curl pattern. So curl texture, right? Your hair strands, your individual hair strands, you really need to take that into consideration, because your individual hair strands can either be soft or they can be rough. Like, if you take a strand of hair and you like, you know, run your finger across from it and you feel like it's like really coarse and rough, or it's like smooth, that plays a part in how your hair acts. Like my hair, I have rough hair strands. My hair is actually pretty rough. So stuff like deep conditioners, conditioning, and detangling with conditioner before I wash it, it really helps my hair behave more softly as opposed to how it naturally is. Surface level, my hair is very rough. So when you combat it with deep conditioners and moisturizers, stuff like that, it turns out to be way softer than it appears to be. So when your curl texture is soft, you really don't need to worry about stuff like trying to get your hair to be soft and more manageable unless thickness comes into play or you're not using the right product, stuff like that. So curl texture does play a role, and I think we like to associate curl texture with curl pattern, but the chart does not address that. Once again, my mom, she's been doing my hair for years. She knows my hair is rough. Not even like a generalization. My hair strands are actually like rough textured. And yes, that is a thing. Not a lot of people know that, but yeah, stuff like texture does impact your hair routine. You know, should you use conditioner before you wash? Should you use deep conditioner before you wash? Or should you wash your hair first and then go on with the conditioner? You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then there's also hair density. How heavy is your hair? Because I typically have light hair. My hair definitely like flows, and it's only really weighed down when I put product in it. But because my hair is light, it tends to dry faster than somebody who has like heavy low porosity hair. So I have low porosity hair, and because of that, my hair tends to dry very slowly. But because it's very lightweight, it doesn't take as long to dry as somebody who has low porosity and heavy hair. You know what I mean? Porosity and density, they work together, or they don't work together. Because say you have high porosity light hair, your hair dries very fast then. But if you have high porosity heavy hair, then it might not dry as fast. So those two, they either work together or they don't. But hair density is kind of important in how fast your hair dries. I'm about to sneeze, or at least, what was I saying? What was I saying, y'all? Oh my gosh. It plays a part in how fast your hair dries, and if products weigh your hair down and therefore it takes longer to dry. And also plays a part in how much do you have to work product in for it to work. If your hair is heavy, you can't just put a bunch of product in your hands, rub together, and then just, no. You gotta section your hair off, work it, like rake it through section by section. That's how you get product in your hair. But let's say your hair is pretty lightweight, you know, maybe even high porosity. You may just gotta, that's it, because your hair is light, and thickness also plays a role in that also, but I'm just talking about lightness in general. Because your hair is light, you may not need as much product to get product through your hair and for it to feel moisturized, you know what I mean? But hair density and thickness also go hand in hand. So hopefully you guys are following me. This can be like a very much a spider web, a tangled spider web. Yeah, thickness, I think y'all know about thickness, because when your hair is thick, you may need heavier products. You may need to work them through your hair in sections, as opposed to somebody who has, you know, thinner hair. They just need to, that's it, and use lightweight products, and that's all they need. Hair density, hair thickness, hair porosity, they all like, I'd say those are like top 3 factors that the chart doesn't address, but we need to address as a community. And those 3 factors really help figure out what we need to do to our hair so it can be at its best, like health-wise, appearance-wise even. Thickness and density, they also play a role in how visible our curls are, because the thicker your hair, the harder it is to see how your curls are. So does moisturization, because if your hair is dry, then yeah, you're not really gonna see your curls. That's just how it is. But when your curls are very tightly packed and your hair is also thick, that is why people who have 4C curl pattern, even though typically they have thick hair, it's not always the case. The 4C airy types, that's the people who have like afro puff hair, you know, because it's so light but the curls are very tightly packed but your hair is still thick. You're not going to be able to see those curls as opposed to somebody with heavy 4C hair. maybe even not as thick. So 4C hair is not always cloud afro hair, you know what I mean? It really depends on the factors that I'm listing out right now. Let me know if you want a whole video on porosity, because that's really a very important factor that I feel like the hair community just doesn't address like it should. I mean, there's still a lot of people who don't even know about porosity. So let me know if you want a whole another video, because porosity really plays a role in what products you need, how you need to deal with your hair, the routine. Like, you need to know your porosity for real, for real. There's all those factors that determine how your hair looks and how your hair behaves, but there's also how the individual takes care of their hair in general. Because if you aren't taking care of your hair, baby, why are you expecting to see moisturized curls, moisturized defined curls, if you're not taking care of it correctly? When your hair is not taken care of correctly, it can create the illusion of another hair type. I know when my hair isn't moisturized and it's actually pretty dry, like let's say my wash and go is starting to get pretty old and I haven't done anything to refresh it, it starts to look very afro, very cloud-like, instead of how it looks now. It looks pretty, you know, pretty. But when it starts to get, you know, more frizzy, maybe even a little bit more dry, it starts to look more type 4. So what I'm saying is how you take care of your hair impacts how it looks, how it feels, and everything. So you really got to know you really got to figure out how to take care of your hair so you can see its true state. Also, seeing how your hair looks like after you freshly wash it and there's no product in it, that also helps you see how your hair actually is before you start putting curl products in it that are supposed to define your curls and everything. You'll be able to tell better how your hair is in its natural state without anything impacting it. Chemicals, y'all. Chemicals? I just feel like that in itself it completely alters your hair. You gotta start taking care of your hair way differently than you were before. It's almost like you have a different curl pattern, curl texture, porosity even, thickness even, especially if the person that dealt with those chemicals in your hair didn't deal with them right. So it can definitely impact your hair completely, because chemicals can alter your hair. Like, so if you have chemicals in your hair, that's just a whole different ballpark that I cannot explain in just one video. Length, y'all. Length. When my hair was shorter, y'all, it was definitely like coils. Just like tight coils. You could see them. They were very springy, but now that it's longer, it's definitely like more zigzag. Some are coils, some are zigzags, some are like not even visible really. Hair length is so essential because gravity changes your curl pattern. It may not change your texture, your thickness, or anything like that, but it definitely changes how your hair looks, how your coils, how your waves, how your zigzags look. And that in itself is just an important factor to consider, because in regards to the chart, because gravity weighs your hair down, you may go from 3C to 4A because gravity is making those coils stretch out. Gravity is making those coils stretch out so that they look more like zigzags than actual coils. Like, here's one right here. It looks more zigzaggy, and I don't think I have any coils except like in the back, but because my hair is old, you don't really see the coils anymore. But there's definitely more coils in the back of my hair than there is in the front. Back, it's actually more 4C now that I've cut it a little bit. That's another video for another day. What's been going on with my hair, y'all? One day I'm gonna have to make a video addressing what my hair has been through since I got a flat iron. Comment below if you want me to address what I've been doing with my hair specifically. And yeah, I might have to even do a whole like showing y'all what my whole routine is now, because I've definitely changed some stuff up since I haven't been on YouTube. So let me know. But yeah, hair length definitely changes what your hair looks like, because my hair was shorter, it's definitely more coily than it is zigzaggy, but it was my curl pattern was also less visible, and it was way more afro-like than it is now, and especially since back then I didn't really know what I was doing, so you couldn't really see my curls anyway. Now it's more zigzaggy, still cloud-like when it's blowing out, but yeah, y'all can see it's definitely like zigzag kind of. Some are tighter than others. Like, my hair does not have a single curl pattern, it just doesn't. So, but my main point is hair length definitely changes the course of your curl pattern over time. But my whole conclusion is natural hair is not simple. This chart is simple, and you cannot expect all of our natural hair to just fit into this chart of like, what is it, like 8 categories? Our hair is not 8 categories, it's more like 1,000. Like, our hair is really a spectrum of stuff, and this chart does not consider that. This chart is a very simplistic version of how our natural hair looks, and it's fine for if you're just going natural and you don't really know anything about natural hair. And if you look at the chart, you know, one thing leads to another, and you start to associate other factors with this chart. But as far as the chart goes, it's way too simple. Our hair is a spectrum, and this chart is just, it's not complex enough for our hair. And I don't like using type 4 to diagnose my hair when it's way more complex than that. And that's why I'm saying, like, this chart right here is just, it's not giving what it needs to give, honestly. Like, it's kind of pointless to use this chart, especially since curl pattern is really in itself not what determines what you need to do to your hair. Like, it's all the other factors that I listed that may be associated with curl pattern, but they don't need to be. You know, you can have 3C curl pattern but still have very thick hair, very long hair, very dense hair, rough texture. Like, all of that taken into consideration, it just kind of makes this chart kind of pointless. By itself, it's just curl pattern, and curl pattern is kind of useless in determining what routine you need to do, how you take care of your hair, how your hair looks even. Like, curl pattern is just one thing out of like so many things that have a greater impact on how your hair looks and how it needs to be taken care of. And because of that, we do not need this chart, y'all. Until somebody comes out with a full spectrum of natural hair, we do not need to go by this. My basic advice is to find out what works for your hair. Like, forget about the charts. Find out what your porosity is. Find out your curl texture. Is your hair heavy or is it light? Use that to determine what your routine will be, what products work for you. You know, it's really a trial and error thing until we can get a hold on making up a spectrum of natural hair and how it looks like, how it feels like, and from there creating routines based off the spectrum. And that's what we're trying to do now, but this chart is really too simple to do that. But yeah, I think I've addressed everything I wanted to address. You know, if there's something you want to say or add on to what I'm saying, or maybe you disagree with, then please comment. Let's have a discussion in the comments, you know what I'm saying? If you want more videos like this, definitely comment below. Comment if you want a whole another video on porosity, because porosity is very important. I think porosity, thickness, and density are probably like top 3 most important factors in natural hair. If you like this video, I'm not gonna force you to subscribe or thumbs up. I'm not gonna tell you to do any of those things, because if you want to, you would have. You know, if you want to subscribe, just hit the button. If you want to like, just hit the button. If you want to support me, just hit those buttons. Just keep in mind, If you want to support me, the way to support me is to subscribe, like my videos, comment, and engage, interact with this channel, interact with me. Follow me on all my social medias and everything. But yeah, that's it. So remember to never stop growing, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.